sounds cool to me.
But then in hindsight, you look back, you go, well, this would be a much bigger deal had that really happened.
No, not really. The hindsight I'm looking at is like, oh, cool. Now all the Puerto Rican comments just got washed away because everyone's like, oh, what the fuck? Who the hell was?
Well,
this?
now you just reset the table for Puerto Rican
That's
comments.
what I'm doing.
I like
clearing your name, bro.
I like Colin Quinn's joke about the Puerto Rican Day Parade. He goes,
I love the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Where else can you see an 80-year-old grandma wearing a tube top?
First of all, that's legit, dude. I worked with him one time, and I was hosting, and he was headlining.
Look, let Larson open for me, but only once, okay? The guy's from Somerville, Mass. He's a bore.
I go up to him. We're getting ready. The show's about to start, and I go outside, and I just met him. I go, hey, Colin. I'm like, we're going to start the show, bro. I'm like, what do you want for an intro? I go, I got remote control. What else you got? And he's like, who's this guy coming here busting my balls right away, blah, blah, blah.
where was the show?
Brea. He was like doing like a one-man tour. So he was doing like an hour 20, just having someone open for him, and I opened for him. He was awesome, man. I loved it.
He really is. He is probably the single best Twitter follow out there. Like we always say, like George Wallace is great. This person's great. Well, yeah, but he trolls the trolls.
Yeah, man.
Like when he just goes,
I think at the end of the day, we can all agree Muammar Gaddafi was a good man who made some bad decisions. Rest in peace.
and people are like, what?
Yeah.
That's the thing about Christ. He had a swimmer's build, and, him and his 15 disciples, they walked around the earth and they did really good for people.
Dude.
And then, but people like, it was 12. Like they go, like,
yeah.
The fact that they don't know they're being trolled is fascinating. You're at Jay Larson Comedy.
Yeah, at Jay Larson Comedy on Twitter.
At JMohr37. We do read your tweets. I don't have my computer in front of me, but a lot of you guys are using the Amazon link to help out. Appreciate that. That's how we make most of our money for the podcast. That keeps it free. That way you'll never have to it's a free podcast. So you painted houses.
Mm-hmm.
That is really an alcoholic job.
Alcoholic job? I was a
that
kid. I was like in college. I owned a franchise.
Really?
Yeah. I was trying to be somebody. I was trying to
And
be
now
somebody,
you're a nobody.
Jay.
Now you're a stand-up comic with his own podcast, nobody.
Nobody. Nothing.
Do you really... So you thought big. You were like me.
I just wanted to be... I always wanted to have a business. Always.
I will paint every house in Somerville. If people want their houses painted, even all the way out to Newton and Braintree, if you want your house painted, you got to come to me. If Bill Blumenreich wants the Wilbur Theater painted, he's got to come to Jay Larson. Yeah. And I'll be at the Wilbur Theater coming up. Check the website.
That's going to be nice.
It is always nice. I love Boston. Boston's really one of the sickest towns ever. It's the biggest small town ever.
Big time.
It is a neighborhood.
I was thinking of like on the way over here, like we grew up. You know what we grew up, who we idolized growing up? College football player. You got to know.
Flutie.
Yeah, Flutie, bro. We would like be in the backyard being like, Flutie! How many kids around, people doing pro guys, all we cared about was Flutie. We're like, yeah. He took Boston College to win a national championship, and he's this kid from, that's all we related to.
Championship?
That BC game, the Hail Mary, what was that? That was
just a game.
They didn't win the national championship that year?
No. You're out of your mind.
Everyone, hold on a second. Let's Google that.
Boston College. Will you please look up Boston College? It's absurd that we're looking this up. Boston College never won a national
What bowl game was that?
It was a game.
I don't think it was a game. I think it was a bowl game.
You want to bet me money right now?
No.
Boston College, Miami. Boston College National Championship.
We might have to edit
the
this
listeners
out.
I know. We're going to edit this out because it's so stupid that you think Boston College.
That's how much we glorified him, okay? That's how much we glorified him.
Bill Buckner shot John F. Kennedy in his fucking throat in Dallas, Texas. That son of a bitch.
Bill Buckner should be in the Hall of Fame.
He's close. Not before Bernie Williams. I'm going to name some Yankees.
I'll put Bernie Williams in there, but way before Don Mattingly.
You don't think Mattingly should go?
Oh, look at that. Look who knows.
Hail Flutie, college football game. Fox, bro, this is just a game. It was the...
Who was it against? What were they ranked?
Boston College beat Miami 47-45.
Boom.
Miami was the defending national champion, entered the game ranked 12th. So I don't think you can play for the national championship when you're ranked a baker's dozen.
Either way, guy.
But we did that too. We would play like Fumbleitis, Smear the Queer until it became politically incorrect.
Until?
But you can't say that these days because one of those kids is going to fucking grow up gay and you realize you scarred him. And you're the one grabbing his ball bag at the bottom of the pile, so who's gay?
Yeah. By the way,
I would have been a great Raider, just poking eyes and hitting guys in their nuts.
Oh, my God.
Bending guys into the parked cars. But we would do what you did. We would yell out, Harry Carson! And we didn't even know who these guys were. Lyle Alzado.
Yeah, well, Alzado, everyone knew that guy. Talk about balls. That guy's balls the size of softballs.
No, I think they were removed because he had cancer.
Exactly, bro, from the roids. What are you trying to do? Every story I tell can't be right?
I didn't know that was a story.
He had nuts the size of softballs because he's a steroid freak.
I thought you
He had a
meant
tumor in his ass that's the size of a softball.
I literally thought you meant he had like big balls, like he was a real guy with swagger. He had balls. Like you go, this guy's got balls the size of Gibraltar. Hey, that's for you, Spider. You got balls. Spider's got balls the size of grapefruits. De Niro didn't mean Spider had testicular cancer from steroids. He meant he was brave because he talked to Tommy and said, "Why don't you go fuck yourself, Tommy?" Whoa, you gonna take that? So painting houses. What else?
By the way, my whole point about Doug Flutie, I like that thing.
Jesus Christ.
My whole point with Flutie is, you know who sucks at Christmas in the Flutie household? Darren Flutie. Darren Flutie was in the end zone for
like
that.
Cooper Manning.
Yeah, they're like, the doorbell rings. Is that Doug? Nah, it's Darren.
That whole team is ridiculously glorified. I remember Scott Gieselman was the tight end. He caught the 14-yard down and out before the Hail Mary. And when I used to go... We used to go like the Big East tournament in the Garden, and guys from Providence would come down, and they would see Gieselman. He's just a giant ape, just a big white guy, the tight end from Boston College. And they're like, Gieselman! And like when you see the highlights, you see that down and out, that 14-yard down and out right in front of the Miami bench. That's Scott Gieselman. I used to go watch the Providence Friars.
Yeah, so my wife
with him. So yeah, no, I had lots of real jobs. My first job ever, I was a dishwasher. No, I caddied. I had to ride my bike.
I
to the
caddied
golf
too. It's
course.
not really a job.
It is really a way of life.
Yeah.
It is the job that needed a movie made of it, like Caddyshack. It is perfect because you ride your bike and they go, if you get here early, you get all the good loops.
Yeah.
But my mindset was always, I don't need a good loop. I just need a loop. I need some guy to hand. It's $16 for a loop. I need a guy to hand me a 20, tell me to keep it. I tip out the caddy master and I go home with my money. I don't need a good fucking 6 a.m. loop. I'm more of like a 9:40 loop guy.
See, this is the difference. In my town, there was one country club, and it was 9 holes, but there were like different tee boxes to make it 18, and caddies just showed up at 5, and you sat there on the porch. There was no caddy mat. There was no uniforms. Like, you want to grab a bag? They ranked you like A to C. I don't think I ever got past B.
I said that like Uncle Dan. And did you ever do 2 bags?
No. Only A caddies could do 2 bags, man.
Bro, I did 2 bags. That's how I got these shoulders, bro. I had my own rowboat in Barnegat Bay, New Jersey. Down in Bayville, I took off from my grandfather's dock, and I'd row out to Barnegat Bay and go crabbing, speaking of the crab feast. And then I would do 2 bags when I caddied.
2 bags is nice.
The best is when you caddy for old ladies because you never had to look for a ball. They hit that shit like 40 yards, straight as an arrow.
It's a long round, but who cares?
Who cares? You sit in the shade. They'd be like, would you like some lemonade and iced tea, love? He looks hot and bothered. Look at him.
They had me 4 caddy
He's
for
a
a tournament
gay blade.
one time. And
Say again?
They had me 4 caddy for a tournament. Like, you go sit out in the fairway to make sure the ball doesn't go out of bounds and stuff. Or if it did, let him know.
4 caddy as in you yell 4 when something goes...
No, you just like, you're out there like, you're just out there for caddying. It's like, I don't know, you're just out there, you're not on the tee box with them.
Yeah.
You're just there for this tournament. And I'm just sitting there kind of snoozing with my own little cooler, and they're like, hey! And I'm like, yeah. They're like, where'd it go? And I was like, it's over the fence, man. I never even saw where the ball went. I'm like, it's over the fence. The guy running the tournament drives down his car. He's like, listen, you got to be standing up, watching every tee. I'm like, all right.
You're like, hey, buddy, it's a 9-hole golf course.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough real estate to put in 18 holes.
Cheap
You could have made it a nice... you could have had 8 par 3s on this fucking course to make it work. Instead, no, Mr. Fancy had to have 5 par 5s on a 9-hole. Golf's the worst sport in the world. Are you any good at it?
Yeah.
I'm horrible at it.
I love
refuse
it,
to
man.
play because if I miss entirely, I go home. Like, I can hit a curveball. You take me in the batting cages, and I'll foul it off, and then I'll rope a single, a nice RBI double right back up the box.
Imaginary.
No, bro.
You're talking at the batting cage. These imaginary base hits you're having.
Sure. I know when I hit it. I know where it's going. I know that it drops. I played baseball my whole life. I'm being serious. I know a line drive back up the box. No one's catching it.
No, I know. I know, but I just love the fact that you're going on the batting cage and be like, that's a double. You watching? Little kid's just trying to work on his swing. I just doubled the guy home from second.
That is exactly how I behave, and I'm not kidding.
I
sit
believe
there
it.
and I crank when I go, later, dude. That is gone. I'm like, that's gone. Like, not taking into wind or I'm playing indoors. Just the fact that they're throwing me those yellow balls with dimples on them.
Yeah, I hate those.
And I just crank it, and and I know, and I'm very fair. I know it's an out. I'm like, if I hit a line drive and I know it's going to left field, I know that guy's going to catch that ball unless he's snoozing, unless he's like Jay Larson with a cooler at his feet.
Looking around.
It's over the fence, man.
Sorry, man.
You just give him a single.
Sangle?
So, yeah, like I'm totally that guy at the batting cages. I'll be like, double. Check that out. I swear I look at the guy next to me who's getting coached. Like a little kid with like his little Tom Amansky coach.
Oh, my God. I can't even go to the cage anymore. It's too much. I played college ball, and like I remember my last game in college, I K'd twice on outside sliders, and this kid was legit. It was the fifth inning. I walk over to my coach. I'm like, I'm done, bro. I'm done. I'm like, I'm out. Take me out of the game. I'm done with baseball for the rest of my life. And he was
a nasty
all right.
slide. Nobody can hit that pitch.
I'd never seen it, dude. It was like I'm like, where was this kid breaking this pitch off from? Like, we were a D2 school, and this kid was throwing like he was like double A ball. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't hit this shit.
That young man's name, Chris Capuano.
Yeah.
Oh, I met Vin Scully the other night, dude. I called the game from MLB.com.
I heard. You know who I heard? I listened to Max and Marcellus, and Max was like, Jay Mohr, we came in here. Hilarious guy. Loved doing it.
I will say this about Max Kellerman.
Tell it.
He extended like a little showbiz nicety to me, and I go, yeah, you should, do the podcast, whatever. He goes, yeah, you should come on. You come on my show for a segment. And I was like, yeah, that's a little insulting. Like, really? Like, that's what like a guy. That's what like the kicker for the Chargers gets a segment. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what. If you ever want to come on the show, you come on downtown to the ESPN zone where we do the show from, and we'll put you up for a segment. It's like that scene in Pope of Greenwich Village where Mickey Rourke comes out of OTB, and the guy goes, hey, Charlie Moran, how you doing? He goes, not doing any good in there. He goes, look, Charlie, I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm down 30% on my entrees. You come out on the floor a couple nights a week. I'll put you on the floor as a waiter. What do you say? I'll put you to work as a waiter. And Mickey Rourke gets offended. He goes, do I look like a waiter to you? And he goes, come on, I'm offering you a fucking job here, Charlie Moran. Don't break my... And then Mickey Rourke winds up kicking the guy in the ass.
You should do lunch with a legend. They do lunch with That's what you should be doing.
Well, I wasn't offered lunch with a legend.
Evidently.
I was offered the John Carney segment.
Do you listen?
I was offered the Rolf Benershka call-in spot.
What the fuck?
Charger kickers.
I love it. This guy's. It's out of control. Anyway, tell me about
So
Vince
he was
Scully.
nice about me?
Yeah, he was very nice, very complimentary. He said you were funny.
We talked a lot about boxing, and we just stopped calling the game. We started talking about the Knicks. We started talking about boxing. And he had a great point about the Pacquiao-Bradley fight, because I didn't think it was as bad as everybody said. And the one round that everybody said was so bananas and... oh, this is an egregious error, the seventh round. I watched that only with no commentating on HBO, and I totally gave it to Bradley because he just jabbed the shit out of Pacquiao, and then Pacquiao, like, I think 3 or 4 times, just really ground a rib shot, like, to the body, like, brutal body shot. But that doesn't take away all that work. Timmy Bradley, jab, 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 and I'm a sucker for the jab. And then Max is the one that said to me, you got to ask yourself, JJ, you and I watched a fight together, and at the end of each round, you tell me, which guy would you rather have been? And the answer is Pacquiao for every round.
Yeah, he was adamant about the fact that Pacquiao won that damn fight.
Everyone was. Nobody said Bradley
Yeah,
won.
I know. I mean, well, the judges did.
You know what's a shame, though, is Timmy Bradley's a really good fighter and a guy, like, to really be heralded.
Yeah.
And now he's associated with this pile of dog shit. Like, if he lost a fight, he'd have more cred and he'd probably get more money. If I was him, I'd fight, like, the next 2 Mexican guys out of the hopper. Like, like guys... like a 20-10, like ranked 4th. Just go, oh, you know what? I pulled a muscle in my rib. We'll put that on. And just let Pacquiao get 2 fights older.
Yeah.
Because in boxing, that door closes quick.
Man.
If I can just delay this 1 calendar year and just fight some guy, fight Berto or whatever his name is, just fight some guy and then let Pacquiao
Why don't you just go back and just win by KO?
He's not. When they fight again, if they fight in this calendar year, Pacquiao will knock him out within 5 rounds.
Well, good.
He'll murder him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still over the whole pack. Anyway, tell me about Vince Scully, because I love Uncle Vinny.
It's time for Dodger baseball. This is what I go to take a leak, and I'm in the bathroom, and they pipe his, the play-by-play through the whole stadium, no matter where you are in the stadium. And he goes, Andre Ethier is listed as day-to-day with a strand oblique. I guess we're all day to day. I'm standing there at the urinal, and I literally go, "Whoa, that's
Yeah.
heavy, bro."
He's the best.
And I realize there's a guy next to me at the urinal that has no idea that I'm listening to a Dodger game coming from this because he's got.
Oh, God.
He's 4 beers into his day.
Yeah.
He's got a little buzz, and the guy at the urinal next to him holding his penis goes, "Whoa, that's heavy, bro."